Hi everyone, Hervin here, and in this video I'm going to show you how I created this amazing looking website for our company, the process that I followed, and how I was able to create this website using Upwork for less than $1,000. I'm going to walk you through who I hired. I'm going to show you what I told them, the job posting. Essentially, I want to save you time. When I first went through the process of creating this website, I had done websites in the past. I've built many websites in the past. I've built them myself, but I've never collaborated with a graphic designer, with a developer, and I didn't know how this process worked. So anyway, this was a website that was built from scratch from an idea. I want to walk you all the way from the beginning, from how I thought of the website to when it was built. Again, the idea here is that if you want to build an awesome looking website for yourself or your company, that you know the process that I went through, and hopefully it helps you save time. Okay, so with that said, let's dive in. So again, this is the website, and it all begins, I have here a game plan that I am going to share with you. So this is this game plan right here. Let me zoom out. This is the game plan right here. I'm gonna go through step by step. So the first step that I went through, that I did when it comes to building this website, is writing the copy of the website, right? So if you're going to collaborate with a graphic designer and a developer, they're not going to know what to say on your website. So a graphic designer is in charge of making your website look the way you want to, ideally make it look nice. And then a developer takes that idea and brings it to life. They actually take your website and bring it live. And so they're not going to know what to say. So unless you're going to hire a copywriter, which would then bring another person into the team, you or somebody from your team are going to have to write the copy yourself. So initially, I wrote the copy, and I am going to show you how I did that, because I think I've seen so many websites in which the copy is terrible. They think I've seen, especially for small businesses who think like they're like Apple or something. You know, when you look at Apple's website, okay, it's like, it looks really nice and they have very clean, nice pictures, very clean design, but this is not how you're supposed to build a website if you're not a brand that is like globally recognized. Especially if you're, a small, medium business, you want your website to help you generate leads, to help you get more business. If that's the idea, the purpose behind the website, and it's not just about it looking nice, but about, have it look nice, but also be functional. So have it attract you the ideal clients that you're looking for. So notice how our website, has text about what we do, and it has a scheduled demo. So when people click on it, there are things here that are built on purpose to help us attract our ideal client and then get them to be in touch with us. So that's the purpose of a website here, is not just for it to look pretty, but it's also to make sure that it's helping you generate work, helping you generate lead. Okay, so I started with the copy. And when it comes to writing copy for a website, what I thought is like, okay, so a website is kind of like a sales letter that a new person might read when it comes to your business. And they're trying to find out what you're about, why you do what you do, why they would benefit from your services or your product, what your business is about, your unique value proposition is essentially what makes you different, and so on. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to use a copywriting framework here, and you can look this up. If you type in on Google 12-step foolproof sales letter template, it'll come up. So it's this one right here. And you could see here, it has 12 steps. Get attention, identify the problem, provide the solution, etc. So you can read here the 12 steps. And I actually copied and pasted them in a ClickUp document. You can see them right here. So get attention, identify the problem. So this is where I wrote this out. Okay, so that's where I started. I wrote the 12 steps. And then from here, I wanted to go line by line. Like, I wanted to go through each section of the website and use AI to write each of these sections. The problem with AI is, like, you could say, hey, ChatGPT, and you could do this if you want to, if you're like in a rush for time and you don't want to spend a lot of time on this, you could say, hey, ChatGPT, can you take these 12 steps and write me a website copy this is what my business is, this is what it does, and here's why people like me. Boom, take this 12 steps and it'll write it for you. I found that it works way better when you write. So you could see here each individual section. I gave a prompt. I'm like, who are you? What is your task? Who are we? Who's our ideal client? And so on. And so I gave it like a lot of structure here, where it wasn't just like have at it ChatGPT, like come up with a website copy from scratch, like with very little prompt. Like I actually guided ChatGPT step by step through each of these sections of the website. Now, just a pro tip, there's actually an AI called Claude, which my mouse is over here in the computer. Claude is actually better at writing copy than ChatGPT, so I would actually recommend using Claude over ChatGPT for something like this, for writing copy. But anyway, that's what I used back then to write this copy a year ago. And I went through each section. I'm like, right, these are my ideal clients. Here's who we are. Here's the problem that we solve. Help me write the section that gets attention. Help me write the section that identifies the problem. And I went through each one and I kind of gave an example. So I actually took a little bit of time with this. You may not need to take that much time if you don't want to. You can skip all of this and just say, hey, ChatGPT, here's my business. I own a doctor's office. Write me a 12-step, blah, blah, blah. Write me a website homepage using this formula called the 12-step sales letter. And here are the 12 steps. And you could use that and that'll be fine. And it'll come up with stuff. It may not be accurate, so you might have to tweak it. But it's going to be way better than if you're not a copywriter, and especially if you know yourself that you're terrible at writing copy, it's going to be way better than anything that you can come up with. So yeah, go with that option. Either do it individually, section by section, or if you want to speed through this, just go through it all at once. And once you have the copy, so I actually took each section and, so it gave me headlines, then I took the next section and it gave me the problems, and so on. And so these may not be accurate because you may not see them on my website right now, but yeah, I was just writing everything down here, taking like whatever ChatGPT gave me, plus what my thoughts were. And eventually I put together the entire sales letter. So you could see right here that this is what I had come up with, okay, using ChatGPT and the prompt. So I went through all of these sections one by one, worked them out, and now I have the copy. Okay, so that's step one. Let's go back to the game plan. Step one, that's how I wrote the copy for the sales page. Again, if you skip through this and if you don't write good copy, then your website may look nice, but it's not going to help you get more business. So if you want your website to help you get more business, sell more books, refer you more people, whatever it is that you do, you need to have some good copy, especially in the homepage. Okay, so from here, I added the copy to a ClickUp doc, which you could see here. This is like a Google Doc. It's essentially the same thing. And then from there, I gathered all of the images, and I also created new images with Midjourney. So when you see here, like all of these images of the testimonials from our clients, I gathered those. I also created these images that you see here. So I created those using a program called Midjourney. So I have Midjourney opened up right here, and you just tell it like, do blah, 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 right? So like this, I didn't create this, somebody else created this, but it says, let me find, you can see here, 1950 setting, young black children dressed in very well in suits, church clothing. So you could give a prompt to Midjourney and it could create images that look amazing. Like you would never believe this wasn't a real picture. Like that is an AI created image. So like you see here, the images it creates is amazing. Yeah, so I highly recommend using this tool if you're going to create images, because Midjourney works way better than ChatGPT, than any other image generator that I have found. It's the one that I like the best. It comes up with stuff that's really good. And you can also say like, hey, can you give me some inspirations for different type of website designs and so on, and it can help you even give you design ideas. So anyway, I use it a lot. It's an amazing tool. Yeah, that's what I would recommend for using for your images. If you already have pictures of you, your business, or whatever it is that your website is for, then just gather those. Okay, so that's the next step. You want to gather the images that you're going to use. Again, if you're going to hire a copywriter, if you're going to hire a graphic designer, they're not going to choose the images for you. You need to provide them with the images. You need to give them, okay, here are the pictures that I want. You may get lucky and they might be able to create graphics for you if your graphic designer also has experience creating website graphics. Some may not. Some might be just website people. Some may have experience. So anyway, you want to provide the website images. Okay, from here, I wrote down the vibe of what I wanted for the website and found examples. So I'm going to tell you right now, a designer that I really like. So if you go to this website, Design Joy, this guy is really good, and I've been following him on X. I think his name is Brett. He is a really good designer, and you can hire him for like $5,000 a month to do unlimited designs for a month. And yeah, so he has a really good deal. Now, I couldn't afford him to create this website because I didn't even know what I want. Anyway, long story short is that he has amazing designs. I mean, this would be just a shortcut. Just pay Design Joy, and he can help you do this. But yeah, so what I went, because I really liked his designs. He has a portfolio of work. So I had seen him because I had seen his YouTube video talking about how he runs a design agency of one person, and in the YouTube video they showed the designs that he came up with, and they were really nice. So I thought, I'm like, oh wow, that looks really cool. So I went to his website, and he has here a couple of design options. So you could click around and kind of get a taste for the design work that he does. So I thought, I'm like, man, his design is really cool. I want something like this. So anyway, so I took some of his work and I used that as inspiration. And if you're watching, Brett, you're an amazing designer. Thank you. And I hope people, if you want to just shortcut this entire thing, hire him. Yeah, so this guy has amazing work. I thought, I want something like this. So I put together, let me see here a second. So I put together a mirror board with examples of work that I like. And so I put together here some homepage inspiration. I gave it some design inspiration. Like I said, hey, something like this. So here's how I want to design the pricing page. Here's how I want to design. So I gave inspirations for the pages, right? Because if you're working with a graphic designer, they somehow need to know what you're going for. You may not. You may want them to come up with some designs, but I knew what I was looking for. So I also wrote it out. I said, hey, I want something simple, clean, airy, modern, minimalistic, premium. I want something that has flat design, lots of negative space. What that means, flat design, lots of negative space. So you can see here, there is empty space right here. A lot of websites feel very crammed. When you look here, there's a lot of empty space right here. So yeah, so that's what I like. And I wrote that down. I chose the color palette that I wanted. I'm like, I want something along the lines of these colors. Yeah, so the more you can help your graphic designer, if you tell your graphic designer hey, have at it, have fun, come up with whatever, they may come up with something that you like, but they may not. And so if you know what you want, and the more instructions you can give and help out the graphic designer, they'll find that helpful. So I gave inspirations. I gave the color design, the color palette that I wanted to use. I described in words what I was going for. I said simple, clean, airy, modern, minimalistic, premium, and that's what I feel like I got. So anyway, let's go back to the game plan. So I wrote down the vibe and found examples of what work that I like. And then I added everything to a mirror board, which I just showed you at the beginning. I had to organize everything here. I added this right here. I added it, first, then I added the copy. And what I did is that I arranged the copy. So if you notice here, the homepage, you could see here, this is what I created. Now, you may not have time to do this, but it's helpful if you can give your graphic designer, again, an idea of what you're looking for. And so I took the website copy, right? Attract students with less effort, allow your passion, blah, blah, blah. So I enroll more students with less effort. So I tweaked it a little bit over time because this has changed, but I knew I wanted a headline. I knew I wanted this. And so you could see the similarities between what I came up with and what the graphic designer came up with, right? And you could see that I had already provided some structure for the graphic designer so that they're not just kind of winging it. I knew what I wanted, and so I started to arrange this. And you could see here I said, hey, I want a slider so that when they click on this slider, they can get to the other styles. Like for our business, we help dance studios, music schools, gymnastics gyms, swim school. And so I told the graphic designer, I want this slider right here. And they came up with that idea. So I'll walk you through in a little bit, what the graphic designer created. But yeah, so I gave the graphic designer kind of the basic outline, how I wanted. This is called a wireframe. So I created this wireframe for all the pages and how I wanted them to be created. And yeah, so that was the next step. Then from there, I wrote a job posting for Upwork to find a designer. Okay, so I thought this was a part where I was thinking, okay, how am I going to find a graphic designer that is good? Like, I don't know anything about graphic designer. I don't know how to vet them. I don't know anything about it. So what I thought, after a lot of trial and error, because you could see here, website designer. So I was over here, I had 11 people proposing or that I messaged, but I didn't end up hiring any of them. So initially I wrote a job posting that I wasn't sure the people that were applying were good. And so I thought, you know what, how about instead, because I had a couple of different pages that I wanted to design, right? So I had each of these are a page. And so I thought, how am I going to get this done? Like, I don't want to pay for somebody to do the entire website and then have a website, and then what if they're bad and like they're not graphic designers that I like I don't want to. And then I would feel bad kind of saying like, hey, I don't like where this is going. Like, let's cut it out or something like that. So I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do is that I am going to pay somebody to just do the homepage. Okay, so let me just show you here. So design a homepage. You can see right there. And I have it opened here. So I said, we're seeking, you can pause this, and this is the job posting that I use. We're seeking a talented and detail-oriented graphic designer to create a modern, clean, minimalistic. Here are the deliverables. Here are the resources that I am going to provide you with. So and then here's the mirror board. So I gave the mirror board to them so that, and then I said, here's the homepage. Again, I wanted to make this simple for people, and I wanted to know exactly what they were getting themselves into before they even apply for their work. Okay, so I started with that, with the page. Then I started getting people applying, and so I had all these people applying, and I ended up hiring 2 people. Okay, and this is something that I suggest. You can see here I paid $300 to this graphic designer to create a homepage, which I think is an amazing price. He is such a talented worker. This graphic designer is such an amazing talented worker. So anyway, I hired these 2 people. I thought, you know what, I instead of paying one person, I am going to pay 2 people. And I think I said for this homepage, I set a price for $100. If I can't remember how this job posting was, there was a fixed price. You can see here I said I'll pay $100 to create this. And the 2 people that I hired, one I paid $100 and the other one I paid $300. I don't know if he even completed it. I think he did. In any case, the reason why I hire 2, and sometimes I would hire more, is because if you're not sure and if you've never done something like this before, then it's better to go. You might end up wasting a little bit of money hiring somebody, but it's worth your time, because at the end of the day, if you end up hiring somebody and they don't end up doing the work that you like and you have to start over from scratch, it's a pain in the butt. So I thought, I'm going to hire a couple. I ended up hiring 2, and then seeing what kind of work comes up. And I eventually had more people applying, so I knew I could always hire more, but I had 2 that I already thought, you know what, they seem like closer to what I like, just based because they also included their portfolio. And I thought these people perhaps could get the idea that I like the vision. So anyway, I hired them both. And then I really liked what SM right here came up with. So I ended up sticking with SM. But yeah, so at the beginning, you write the job posting, you got to vet a few designers and then choose multiple. At least that's been my experience. It works out better even if you end up paying somebody and you don't end up using their work. And then I got the designer, so I got SM to create the Figma file. And let me just show you. So this is what a Figma file looks like. It just has all of the pages, right? So he created here a color palette. He created here, like, here are the components to the page. Here is the typography. So these are, I guess, called brand assets. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not an expert. I learned a lot throughout this process, but anyway, so he first created the homepage like this in the desktop version. And so you could see here, it looks exactly like the real page. So that's how it first starts. It first starts with a Figma file. So this is actually like, this is just graphic design. Like, you can select this and you can move it around. So that it's kind of like playing, for those of you who played with Canva, it's kind of like playing with Canva, but a lot more advanced. So that you can create graphic designs. And so it's a tool that you use to create graphic designs. That's what it is. And so he created this file that had the website, that had the homepage. And I thought, I'm like, man, this looks beautiful. But at the beginning, like, it was not exactly how I wanted it. So what I did is that I started giving feedback over a Loom video. So I would record myself. I think if you're watching this, you must have heard of Loom, but if you haven't, so with Loom, you're able to create a quick video like this and say, like, you know, hey, I like this part, but there's not enough space here, or there's not enough space here. That was what I ended up saying to the graphic designer. I was just like giving them feedback as to how I wanted things. And eventually we went back and forth. We got it to a great place that I loved. And yeah, so that was, you know, you're going to have to do that. They're not going to get it perfectly right off the bat. And you're going to have to get them feedback, give them feedback so that they can align more closely with your vision. And then from there, once I had the Figma file, I wrote the job posting for the developer. You could see it here. So job posting, you could see here, website developer, develop my Figma website. Website developer, develop my Figma website. So this is the job posting that I wrote. And you can see here, we're seeking a talented, detail-oriented website to build my Figma homepage into a website in this software Go High Level. And using the exact colors, resources, we've included a Figma file, the home, the fonts. You should know how to do this, and that. Okay, so I wrote this job posting, and again, I hired 2 people. And what did I choose? I said, okay, so to build my homepage. So I took the same approach. Instead of paying to do the entire website, I said, I'm going to pay you $100 for you to build my homepage. And so then I hired 2 people. One suggested $80, the other one $150. So I paid them both, and boom, so Hamza is another great developer. He took this Figma file, and then using Go High Level, which is the platform where I built the website, boom, he built this website. And yeah, so I ended up finding Hamza like that as well, which, by the way, feel free, guys, to message Hamza, message SM if you need work done, because they would love it. And yeah, I mean, they're just great people. I would love to send more work their way. So yeah, we hired Hamza, we hired SM, and yeah, so Hamza was the developer. And at the beginning, so what I did is I hired him. I hired the 2 people. I gave them both access to Go High Level. I gave them access to the website. I gave them access to the Figma file. And then from there, we just kind of went back and forth. I gave them feedback in terms of like what I thought each of them were doing right, each of them were doing wrong. Hamza got it done much faster than Mohammed here. Mohammed here eventually actually ended up, I think, giving me a refund because he couldn't get the work done on time. Now, nothing wrong. He apologized, and it's just like he works with people, and anyway, long story short, Mohammed was great. It just happened to be that Hamza just got it done super fast, and he was very accurate. He was also very responsive. My experience working with Hamza was really good. He was very detail oriented, and so I ended up choosing him, and he ended up. Once I finished this project, then I think I just hired SM both and Hamza so that we can complete the entire website, and I just pay them per hour. Yeah, that was my experience creating this entire website. It wasn't something that it was super fast. Again, I wanted to create this video because I wanted to help save you time in case you're building a website from scratch and you want to build something nice, something that looks good, something that looks clean, something that looks something that looks amazing, represents you, your brand, but it also helps you get clients. If that is what you're looking for, this is the process. And also help you save time, showing you the job postings I use, showing you the people that I use. You can also hire them for your website. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.